Aerotowing. So what's that all about? It's a hang glider being towed into the air by a microlight. This is me and the microlight as a tug pilot. I'm about to tow the hang glider into the air, so we're taking up the slack. We're on radio communications and I'm listening to the instructions in all out, all out, all out. Be careful to listen to any of the instructions in case something's going wrong behind me. We've got a mirror in front of me so I can see the hang glider. Make sure nothing's going on. Here's a view from it from the ground. I'm taking up the slack. I try and keep a slow forward motion going and then accelerate smoothly but quickly. You can see how fast the hang glider pilot's having to pull on the bars right through. He's right through the A-frame, and I need to try and get off the ground as quickly and as I can, keeping a minimum airspeed to make it more comfortable for the hang glider pilot. So now I'm waving the pilot off with the hand signal, so he's going to release at his end. So I've got on this occasion about 70-75 metres of line behind me with a small drogue parachute. But when the line loses tension, inflates and keeps the rope flying behind me, as you can see there now. So this is the standard tow line which has been released there, as you can see. I turn right and descend, and the glider turns left so we don't come into conflict. So this short line's a fairly new line and it's quite buoyant, so it stays almost with me. You can see the small drogue parachute bouncing around behind. It's in the wake turbulence from my propeller. Now I need to get rid of that line before I land. So I do a low approach, not too low. Talk about that in a minute when I turn the long line, you'll see. So I want to ideally release this on the runway in a position where we're going to use it next, so there's lessens the workload for the team on the ground. Got to make sure I don't drag it along the ground and catch any vehicles or people. And my right hand's releasing it now. Come in and land, try and speed things up, get in and land on the same approach. So here's a view from the back of me releasing that line. These are all different tows. I did about 9 tows on that day. You can see the drogue chute bouncing around behind, and this line stays almost level with the trike, which is quite handy, so you can get a bit lower with this one to release it more accurately on the runway where you want it. Release. Taking up the slack for another tow. This is a much longer line now. We've got a chap called Dave who's doing all the tasks required to become a qualified tow pilot. I think on this particular task it was a low release for him to do a recovery and landing. Well, I'm waving him off now, fairly close to the airfield, so he can get in okay. Now this line's a lot longer. While I'm in a descending turn, it's staying level with me. So there's the runway I need to fly over, as you can see. Got a 180-degree turn to do. And the line's nicely flying behind me, not much lower. Now while I'm in the turn I can see the line in the mirror. Once I straighten out like now, the line drops behind and below me and I lose sight of it. And I was unaware of how much lower the line flies in straight and level flight compared to in the turn. It's obvious really, but if you don't see it you don't know. So this video has been quite a useful learning tool for me. You can see I'm far too low for this line drop. Just make out the end of the line, which is probably less than 50 feet above the ground. You could call that the perfect drop, but I didn't know how low that was, so it's not the perfect drop, so I was far too low. Anyway, that's Aerotowing, and thank you for watching.